Well, let me ask you this too. What was your take on the on Tony Khan to calling me the irrelevant parasite when you read that?
I think it tells a bigger tale of the pressure that he's under. The fact of that all you said nothing malicious directly at him. You know, you got a little rim shot. Like, I think it needs to be refreshed, but coming from a veteran, that should be taken with, maybe I need to see. Instead, he lashed out and said abrasive things back to you to try and belittle who you are and what your spot in this business is. I thought Crowbar's assessment of you was exactly spot on. And as someone who's been in the business and 3-time Booker of the Year, you'd think he would know this by now, because not everybody can be the lion tamer in the main event on the show, but a lower level or mid-card character, be it comedy or what have you, can build empathy and can eventually be in the main event when the crowd is behind them. And if he's going to look down on your career and claims to be the great wrestling fan that he is and wrestling historian, then he should be showing respect, not malice towards it. And if I'm a guy like a Danhausen or an Orange Cassidy, that's not too far off from the same spot that you had on the card. And going forward with a TV championship and really being the go-to on every show, because your matches and segments are always a good gear shift from something else to show that, okay, we did all this heavy stuff. Let's lighten it up, get the crowd into it. And then boom, we can move on to something else and have an annoyance spot or whatever. So if I was some of his own guys, I'd feel kind of slighted and disrespected by that, oh, I'm not a Meltzer 5-star guy, so I'm a
Well, you know, it's kind of funny, Irrelevant Parasite number 2.
Yeah.
Because I said he's probably under a lot of pressure with the network, with the boys, with the contract negotiation, with the 3 shows, with reading everything Regal they say leaves, about him.
Leaves, Cody leaves, QT leaves.
Right. And everybody, and now he's saying that everybody's attacking him. Guess what? Everybody gets attacked. K100 gets attacked. Your show gets attacked with Vince Russo. WWE gets attacked. AAA gets attacked. Bro, that's a society we live in, right? But I just think it's a way of being dismissive to Disco, like you weren't, right? Yeah. But at the same time, what he does is he does the same thing Trump did. I was telling Disco this, and he kind of liked the analogy. Remember when Trump said, I'm going to be a dictator, but only for a day? And everybody, the left, going to be a dictator. He did 2 beautiful things there. He catered to his base, got over with them because they loved him, and he triggered the snowflakes, right? And what Tony did is he catered to his base because they all hate Disco, right? They all hate Russo, they all hate Cornette, a lot of them hate me. And at the same time, you know, he catered to his base. You know what I'm saying? So,
and I don't think, Konnan, that Tony, even though I think he said things about Russo and Bischoff, I don't think Tony would ever come after Cornette the way he did Disco, because he's worried Cornette's fan base will come at him.
No.
No. Look, real quick.
Cornette will rip him a new.
Right.
In a promo.
What I'm saying is,
so that's you don't want to go at Cornette, right?
But I think he thought he was hitting a slam dunk because no one's going to have Disco's back or take his side, and that wasn't the case. He thought he was hitting. You know?
Well, I got a text.
I thought your response was absolutely DI perfect. I'm irrelevant, but here's why I'm a uniter. Got it. So using their own words against him. But here's the real thing. #AEW Collision. While he's putting his own show over and then sells for this, probably because he is under a lot of other pressure and snap. And, let me sidebar this. Maybe it's not Khan at all. Maybe it's Don Stevens, and Don Stevens is selling, and I could see Don being the one to do that as well. No one's even thought of that, right? So the fact that he's under that pressure and sells for it, this is more talked about than anything that was on AEW Collision. The only other thing that I heard was Thunder Rosa came back, and did something. You got heat. You got to play heat. If this is your base, that's all that's left are the K100, Russo brand, Cornette, Dutch, Renee listeners, Stevie Richard listeners, then bring this guy in, man, and do something that's going to actually get over. And then you're the boss. You can make him dance for his dinner if you want to, but let him shoot bang bang. This is why you got no play out of the Young Bucks CM Punk scenario. You got no draw out of the Jungle Boy CM Punk scenario, because nobody wants to go out there and do anything that's not Hallmark that's going to hurt anybody's feelings. But they're the first ones to claim victim, but he's the one drawing blood on you. So I think it's a lot of the frustration of, all that pressure with the networks and everybody jumping ship. And he thought you were an easy target, and made himself look.
If they brought me in, what do you think would be a good angle? I just thought of this at the top of my head where you were saying, why would do it? What if Warner Brothers Discovery has hired me as the director of standards and practices at AEW?
I love it. I think it's great.
I have to go in there and tell everybody that thinks that they're doing wrong.
You're on the disciplinary committee. You're on the disciplinary committee.
Right,
Absolutely.
yeah.
You could be the guy.
Bro, I told Disco in yesterday's show, if you, Russo, Cornette, and Eric Bischoff walked onto that place, the heat would be incredible. And they want to go at Russo the same way, but let's look at, for the guy who's the algorithm guy, Tony Khan, the metrics guy, WWE, early 90s on a downward spike. Hire Vince Russo, biggest numbers ever. WCW, failing, ship is sinking, bringing Russo up, ratings go up. TNA going sky high till he leaves, then down it tanks again. This is the exact same graph that we're seeing, the downtrend. Are you going to actually bring in the time-tested, proven consultants, allegedly, to take you out of the nosedive before you bury it into the ground?
Oh no! I wanted to be around. I don't want to go out of business. I just like to be.
Me too.
It's like I have to watch a show every week. Yeah. I want it to be a show that I enjoy. It's like that you're doing stuff that's like your ratings are mediocre. You lost Punk. You lost 100,000 fans, and like you got to get those fans back. You're not doing anything to get them back. You're just catering to these same fans and self-proclaiming your show is great every week, and then but the numbers aren't. So it's like I don't know. Like the guy, like I said,
there's so many things you could do, bro. You could fill in so many different roles.
I would never go back in the wrestling business, though. To be honest,
I just think as an on-camera character, bro, and even just to stand in the ring and let them do the George Orwell 1984 2 minutes of hate, bro. Let them get it out. And you stand there and smile with a big K100 shirt on, bro.
How hysterical it would be if I just walked in the ring and just let these people just do all their chants, Disco, just stood there, didn't say a word, and just got on the mic and said, "This is my yard now."
I love it, man. Like, all that's left is the diehard podcast fan base. Yeah. So why are we not appealing to them, using them, and playing off the internet heat that we have? Because otherwise this means nothing. There's money to be drawn here, because nothing else on Collision, when it was put on and started with 1 million viewers, now we're down to 250,000. A 75% drop off is inexcusable. And really, we called this ahead of time because just of the placement of the product on a Saturday night does not make any marketing sense whatsoever.
Right.
So they should have Shivani's interviewing somebody who's waiting, and all of a sudden the disco ball starts dropping real slowly, and Tony's like, "Wait a minute, what's that doing there?" And Jericho's backstage, and he finds like a disco ball in the locker room. Tony's office has disco lights.
Yeah, dude.
All that.
Did you ever see the last season of Homeland? Did you watch Homeland?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I did.
Remember how they had like the Alex Jones character was like the radio guy, and then they were like trying to predict. They were trying to tell you what was going on. He had like the troll farms, the internet troll farms and stuff like that. Was like it was very interesting stuff. But but how about if they told that story like in AEW now? You got the internet podcasters are like the enemy, these people are right. I mean, you could do the same type of storytelling with it, right?
You could go out on commentary and bury matches like, you believe he kicked out on that? What's it going to take to beat this guy?
It's like, why is the guy, if you're on there, why is the guy standing there and letting him forearm him in the face?
Yeah. Or whenever a guy does a flip to the outside and knocks down 6 guys, and you're like, no, we're not going to.
Yeah, why did they all fall down? What did they trip on their shoelaces? Somebody got to tie their shoes.
There's stuff to be done there that is rib insider stuff. Like, who else are you appealing to at this point?
Right.
Yeah. And Ben, your idea there, even though I wouldn't watch it and I like seeing videos trash it, it sounds like She-Hulk the show, because She-Hulk's whole point of the show was to trash all the critics the whole time. Yeah,
That's the whole game of it all, right? At the root level, and how many innovative ways in a creative meeting could we come up with bits to do that? And this is what I like about the improv mindset that I bring in. I like the Toni Storm stuff a lot. She's gone from silent film to, silver screen. We're going to maybe get a monster film and a Humphrey Bogart. Then we need a Wizard of Oz moment where she switches to color. And if you're in there at that time, we can get her all the way up from 1940s to 1970, where it ends in a big Saturday Night Fever dance-off between you and Tony Khan. He's got a huge afro, and you come out in all the stuff, and that's how we pay it off.
How about Tony Khan's Latino cousin, Abram Abrahantes?
Abram, he can be in there as well. I mean, we can have everybody do a big musical dance number, MJF style, if we need to. Konnan, I think you need to come in and be over at the bar.
Like Vince McMahon.
Well, we'll do the whole thing. It'll be part Carlito's Way, part Saturday Night Fever, and that's how we pay all this off. We dance.
Is Carlito's Way the one with Benny Blanco?
Yeah, Benny. You're Benny Blanco from the Bronx.
Bro, one of my favorite scenes ever is when Al Pacino is sitting down in the thing, and Sean Penn comes and sits next to him, and then John Leguizamo is like, hey, I'm sending you wine bottles, and you're disrespecting me. He goes, I don't are you that I should know who you even are, bro. He just destroys John Leguizamo.
Good. He catches him at the wrong time, very much like Disco might have caught TK.
That's exactly what I said. I said he's probably saying, hey, everybody's this guy now coming at me directly. Guy, I'm gonna have to say something.
You want to? But you're big time. You're gonna die big time.
Good stuff.